also using the push brush. And sometimes what that will do is it will pull it away from the mesh a little too far. And so you may have to come in and just kind of move some of these points around and get those back into position. But for the most part, that tool has done pretty well. So we shouldn't have to do too much here. So just go around the edge. Sometimes things like this happen and you just need to take care of them as you see them. Okay, let's go ahead and go around the top here, make sure that our vertices are touching the top ridge of that coat. And I know that we have this open area on the coat. We'll be taking care of that in a little while, probably in the next lesson, because I really want to get those sleeves done. And we could, probably take care of this in the next lesson as well, but I see it now and I want to take care of it. All right, so that's finished. Let's go ahead and take care of these triangles. We have a lot of edges going up the side of the neck here, so I'm actually just going to hit Control Backspace to remove those edges. And then at this point, all I would need to do is go ahead and Control right click and go to Polydraw, and then just move these vertices around and just start to redistribute those across the model. Okay, just kind of placing those and trying to get these polygons to straighten up a little bit. Okay, so that way they're a little more to even. Okay, and let's go ahead and pull that across. Just taking a look at our topology, making sure that we get it to be nice and straight here. And there we go. Okay, so there's that. This one's okay, in my opinion. We can go ahead and maybe make some quick adjustments to it, but I think it's doing a great job of what it's supposed to do right now. All right, so now that we've got that, let's get this sleeve to conform to the high poly object. To do this, I'm going to use a Polydraw tool called Conform. Conform, what it will do is it will push the surfaces of our model and it will push it to the target surface of another model. Okay, so in this case, our target surface is our high poly coat. We know that because we picked it. Let's go ahead and turn off that extend tool. If you want to make sure, go ahead and select the pick button and then choose whatever model you want to be the target model. And then we'll go to Polydraw and Conform, and it's going to bring up this brush. Now this brush is controlled by a couple of different parameters. One is the full strength, and that's going to be the small circle you see in the middle, okay, the white circle. Then we have the fall off, which is 200. That's represented by the black circle. And then we have the conform. So this is the distance or the rate in which the vertices are going to conform. And if we take this down, let's say 0.05, this will allow the vertices to move a little slower, allowing you to paint and have a little more control. And so as you notice, as I come in here and I start to bump these areas, the vertices begin to conform to the surface of our model. Now they are going into some of those crevices, and that's perfect because I really need that to have this puffy silhouette. And so we'll just come in and we'll just start brushing over the top of this. Now one thing that you'll want to watch out for is the fall off size. Let's go ahead and take that down to 100, and so that way we can work in some of these smaller areas without really affecting the body of this. Okay, we don't want to really mess around with that too much. Okay, so we'll just come in and we'll start to conform some of these and just really lightly coming over the top of these. Okay, just telling that to push in a little at a time. Now if you take a look at the vertices or the segments that I put on the coat, I've strategically placed them to where there was one segment going across the high point of the sleeve and then one across the low point. So we have those going in those crevices, and that's going to give us the silhouette that we require for this object. Okay. Now if it helps, you could go ahead and instead of setting the offset distance, if you take a look at your Polydraw, you'll notice the offset distance is set to 0. You can actually set that a little bit higher